Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Joy Cardine, and I would like to introduce Sean Burke, running for Dane County Supervisor in District 12. As we begin, I'd like you to give an opening statement as to the educational, vocational, and civic experience that you have, which qualifies you for this office, and why you're running for Dane County Supervisor.
Thank you, Joy, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for Dane County for this opportunity to share my vision for the future in Dane County. I have extensive experience working in corporate finance. I've also operated and run my own small business, so I have an understanding from both sides of the equation what is out there as far as the finance side of stuff. And I'm running primarily because of my civic engagement at heart. I have been a community activist in the LGBTQ community for quite some time, and I believe that engagement is the best way to make a better community. And I decided to take my experience and my passion to help people to run for the 12th district on the Dane County Board of Supervisors.
What do you view as the most significant budget issues facing the board, and how would you propose addressing them?
We've got a number of issues that we're going to have to deal with. We've got $100 million that's going to be shortfall because of COVID money that we're no longer going to have. So we're going to have to prioritize what programs need to come first. And I believe that housing and mental health and substance abuse programs need to take a forefront in budgeting.
What do you see as the next right steps for the county to take in addressing mental illness and substance use disorders to divert people from the criminal justice system?
I think that at this time we need to continue what we're working with the in the court system that's been developed right now. I know that the PP&J committee and Carlo Escada are working very hard on criminal justice reform, and we need to work with those with mental illness who, because of their illnesses, commit crimes, and we need to address their health issues so that we can get to the root of the problem on their criminal side.
How would you evaluate the county's current efforts to address homelessness? And are there any additional steps that you believe the county should take to address this issue?
I think the county, in collaboration with the city of Madison, is moving in the right direction in addressing housing issues and homelessness. The addition of the men's shelter in the 12th district is going to add a lot more stability for those individuals that need assistance, including people with mental health and substance abuse issues. But I think the county needs to do more addressing affordability. Dane County is extremely overpriced for housing, and it needs to be brought under control right now.
Concerns continue about noise abatement related to the presence of F-35 fighter jets and PFAS pollution at the airport. What would you seek to do about these concerns if elected?
The first thing I would do is engage our our city partners and federal partners. I think that there's some compromise and common ground we can reach on with the noise abatement issue. I understand that there are a lot of individuals that are concerned about that, and I experienced it firsthand when getting my nomination papers, just what those folks have to go through every day. And so we need to work on getting noise reducing windows in those areas to help those folks live a better life. With respect to the PFAS issue, I currently am not pleased with the joint use agreement because of the indemnity clause regarding PFAS. I also think that we need to work with people like Congressman Pocan and Senator Baldwin to get the military to start using non-PFAS foam at the airport for firefighting. That will go a long way in handling those concerns.
What else, if anything, should Dane County be doing to address health disparities?
Again, I think some of the problem goes back to housing affordability. A lot of people in Dane County are having a hard time or are homeless, and therefore they cannot focus on their health care. They don't either have the money or the means to get someplace, or they're making decisions about medication. We need to bring down cost of living, and we need to be able to get people who have limited access to doctors so that they can have their health taken care of properly and not have to make a choice between rent, food, or medicine.
Please tell us about other priorities for the residents of your district that we have not yet addressed and how you would propose addressing them.
One of my big issues, other than the issues we've already discussed, is accountability and transparency. We have seen recently with the joint use agreement concerns about accountability and transparency within government. We also need to hold county contractors to the same standards as anyone else. That means we need to be conducting regular audits, and we need to make sure that their contracts are being followed to the letter. And that is something that needs to be addressed. And if they are not, we should not be continuing to give these contractors money. We should be rewarding people for good behavior. And if you cannot follow your contract, then we don't need to be doing business with those types of businesses. I just also think that we're going to have to deal with the jail. Well, the county board already voted on it. I have a bad feeling that we're going to have to deal with this issue of them coming back for more money in another year or two. So I think that's another issue that needs to be dealt with.
And finally, what would you like to say to the viewing audience as we conclude this interview?
I would like to thank the people of the 12th District for allowing me this opportunity to represent them. I look to earn their trust and their respect, but I also want them to know that I am going to be fighting for you. I am not going to be beholden to party or political allegiances, and that I am going to bring to the county board a fresh common sense approach that's been lacking for quite some time.
I want to thank Sean Burke for speaking with us, and I want to thank the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. I'd like to remind everyone that the general election is Tuesday, April 2nd. Every election is important, so please vote. On behalf of Madison's City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, thank you for joining us.